How are we going, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin. I've got as it says in the title, Setlists and Ticket Stubs. I'm carrying on with the subscriber requests on the video that I did celebrating 800 subscribers. Various people commented a request for a video that they'd like to see, and today we're dealing with Metalkast SLV. And he requested I show off my setlist collection. And to be, sorry to be a bit of a letdown, mate. My setlist collection isn't quite as impressive as what I let on or led you to believe. And what I would normally do is if I did get a setlist, I'd fold it in four and then just put it into the CD of the particular tour that I saw them on. And I did a pretty big scaling down of my collection a year or two ago. And I think, for various reasons, but I think a lot of the time, if I did have a set list that went with the CD, I'd give it with them. So a lot of the set list went with the selling of a collection. So I've only really got 4 to show off. So in order to make up for it, I've been going through everything. I've normally slid them between magazines and LPs or put them in with CDs. And annoyingly, I'll probably find more because, I even like this here. I've even started putting tickets with the CD. That's for Exalder, by the way. So if I do come across any more, I will show them off as and when. But there's one particular one I think you'd have been impressed with, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because now it's gone. You're just going to get annoyed that I've given it away. But there you go. These things happen. Right, so like I say, I'm going to be showing off a couple of set lists that I've got. Try and work out when some of them are. And I'll show off some old tickets as well. So hopefully we'll have a bit of a nerd out, a bit of a chill out. Hopefully it sparks a bit of conversation in the comments as well. And we'll just go from there. So a nice chilled Sunday video for you, basically. Right, so this first one is Prong. And this was playing in Romford. I'm just looking here to see if there's a year. No, there isn't. Right. So there's a bit of a story behind this one. Luke, who I co-host Metalkast with, his band was in a Battle of the Bands tournament, and this was for the final of that Battle of the Bands. And I can't remember what they won, if they did indeed win it. But the final, if you got to the final, you got to support Prong. So the guy who put on the metal night at these nightclubs in Romford, he managed to get Prong to play Romford on that tour they did at the time. And I know he stepped his foot in trying to get... Basically tried putting Romford on the map a little bit. But he never really... He didn't, but he had a good go. I think he got Skin Lab to play Romford as well. And logically speaking, he saw the numbers that were filling up these nightclubs at the time and couldn't see why we couldn't have decent gigs. But I don't know why it didn't quite take off. I think probably the promotion side of things can be quite sort of closed off and a bit cliquey as any other industry. I don't think it's probably as easy to get into as it seems on the surface. And I remember when the ideas he had, a lot of people were sort of going, "Oh, yeah, all right." It's like, well, if he does it, you'll go quick enough, won't you? So, but there was a bit of a crab in a bucket mentality at the time. But yeah. Anyway, so we used to go to Freak, and the 3 finalists plus Prong. This must have been 2000, 2001, possibly. But there's Prong, and this was the set list that I grabbed. And this was on the Scorpio Rising tour. I know that much. I won't hold them up too long. You can pause it and have a look as well. Oh, and Echelon Blue were the band that won that night, but Set in Silence, who was Luke's band, they were the better band. We'll leave it at that. But right, and next one. This is Napalm Death. This was at the Underworld. It says ripped there. I'm trying for the life of me to remember. In fact, right, let's work this out. The Brink of Extinction, I know, was a new song. So, where's Napalm Death? Yeah, this might have been it, actually. Maybe not. Brink of Extinction. It's a obliteration. I'm pretty sure it was, yeah, Dictat. Was it? No, it must have been this. It must have been. I can't remember when this was, but and this isn't got a track list on it. Oh, here we go. Basically, they played the Underworld, and they said we got an album recorded, ready to come out. Let's see if that gets clears a bit. And yeah, it was about halfway into the set, and they said, "Why isn't this?" And they said, "Oh, here's 2 new songs." Oh, here we go. It's nice and clear for the album we've got coming out next year. And twice I saw them at the Underworld where they did that, and they said basically they would go, right, here's 2 new songs off the new album, and then they'd play the rest of their set. The album would come out the next year, and then they'd do like a world tour off the back of it, but they wouldn't play London. And then a bit of time would go by, bang, they're at the Underworld again, and they did the exact same thing, played 2 new songs off the next album. And I'm thinking it was these no, I remember this one though. I think it was for these 2 albums. Yeah, right. Yeah. Dictat and Brink of Extinction. Yes, right. Yeah. So, yeah, halfway through, they do Dictat and Brink of Extinction, and they said, right, these are 2 new songs off the next album, and that would have been Time Waits for No Slave. So this is 2008. Bloody hell. So this would have been 2007 at the Underworld. There we go. We worked it out. We got there. Do you know what? I'm going to put that with that. Is that going to fit? And yes, and the exact same thing with this album. They said, oh, here's got a new album out next year. Here's 2 new songs off it, but I didn't get a set list that night, I'm afraid. That's not working. Let's put that there for now. All right. Told you this was going to be disorganised, but put that there for now. All right. Next one I got is Blaze Bayley, and this is on the Soundtrack to My Life tour, and I think I got a ticket for it. Yeah, this is 2014. I know this is 2014 at the Underworld, and he did the 2 CD compilation called Soundtracks of My Life. Yeah, I managed to grab that. Yeah, he did like pretty much a best of, basically. I think Motherfuckers at the end. Motherfuckers Are Us. That was a new song. No, that's a Wolfsbane song, isn't it? I can't remember now. But yeah, there you go. And this one's, I know this is actually this was this year. The Bleeding. The Bleeding did a show with Blasphemy at the Dev in Camden. There you go. And yeah, sorry, I seem to make you think that I had a bigger collection than I had, but I did go through this. and found a load of old tickets. So I thought I'd just rummage through this and just go through some memories, really, as and when I find them. So where should we start? Right. I want to try and find the oldest one. But, right. Oh, well, here we go. Yeah, there's a good place to start. Right. One of the... Yeah, let's start here, and then we'll go from there. Right. So, I think this is probably the first proper gig I went to that I bought a ticket to. This was 1 minute... No, this isn't... There's one before that. So this is 1 minute silence at the Astoria. But I saw 1 minute silence at the Mean Fiddler a year or two before. Maybe a year before. So let's look out for that. So it must have been... This is the Lost Weekend. This was at the London Docklands Arena. Famously, Nine Inch Nails were meant to headline it. And they pulled out that morning because the drummer had diarrhea. I think Ash ended up headlining it. It was 2 days. I saw 1 minute silence then as well, and that was the first time I saw Machine Head. Skunk Anansie and headlines the second day. At Skunk Anansie, Lemmy was on the side of the stage just watching. There was Sona Farik. It was the first time I saw Kill to This. 100 Reasons on the smaller stage. Earth Tone 9, the infamous Earth Tone 9 set where Carl the singer came out with a basically his waist. He was naked and his waist area was just covered. He just basically unwrapped an entire roll of cling film around that area. So he was basically wearing a cling film nappy. Oh, who else was there that day? Yeah, Kill to This, Earth Tone 9, 100 Reasons. 1 minute silence played that day as well. First time I ever crowd surfed. This was, when was this? Yeah, 2nd of July. 1st and 2nd of July 2000. What were the tickets? Here we go. So this is like an indoor festival. £17.50. Bloody hell. How much was this? Yeah, at the Astoria. I missed the Astoria. We all do. £8.50. I think this is the main thing we're going to take. Here we go. Same arena. The arena's still there, but I don't think they have concerts there anymore. This is January 2001. Marilyn Manson. £18.50. You're gonna same arena again. Corn. September 2002. They were supported by... Oh yeah, Marilyn Manson was supported by Disturbed and a band called Godhead, who Marilyn Manson had signed to his own record label at the time. Korn was supported by Puddle of Mud and I think a band called... Can't remember who the other band was, but yeah, Puddle of Mud. That was 2002. Let's see if I can find my first ever... Oh, what's this one? Nope. Nah, just have to go through it really. Machine Head, Brixton Academy, December 2001. Let's see if there's a price. 15 quid and a £1.50 booking fee. Brilliant. That was on the Supercharger tour. Who were they supported by that night? Can't remember. That night, funny enough, was recorded for a live album. Was it Super Alive or something like that? Yeah, I was there that night. Earth Tone 9, who I mentioned before, at the Mean Fiddler. They're all covered in blue tack because I used to stick these all in my inside of my wardrobe of my bedroom at the time. Earth Tone 9, I think there was God Forbid played that night. Cortisone. I think Charger opens that night. think it was Charger, Cortisone. I think maybe the Dukes of Nothing played that night as well. I'm not sure. Yeah, Cortisone's on the ticket. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure. I know God Forbid opened it though. Knuckle Dust. Now we're talking. I saw Knuckle Dust for the first time at what's the one that's famous? The Ruskin Arms, and that was an all-dayer. Luke, who I do Maidencast with, Set in Silence, who I saw earlier. They were originally called Nerve Shot, and yeah, they opened it. There was 50 Caliber, I think Beat Down Fury, a couple of other bands, and then it was Unite and Knuckle Dust. And I remember at that gig, again, this was the Ruskin Arms, and I bought Time Will Not Heal This from the merch stand, and then I saw them at the Underworld. This again was with Unite, because Knuckle Dust had done a split with Unite. United we stand, divided we brawl. Fiver. Brilliant. Raging Speed On at the Mean Fiddler. I don't remember seeing Raging Speed On headlining, actually. I remember seeing them opening for a couple of bands. That might have been... I can't even remember. Yeah. 2002 at the Mean Fiddler. Oh, yep. I saw Stained back in the day at Brixton Academy. Where was this? £16.50 at 2002, February. Oh, yeah, this one would be cool. Have I got a ticket, though? No. It must be here. I'll have to look for the ticket for this, but yeah, I kept it, but I have got the ticket in here somewhere. Dillinger Escape Plan, supported by Nazem, Sixth and Rabies Cast. Sixth announced that they'd got a record deal that night as well. There's like, yeah, we just signed a record deal today. 3rd of May at the Mean Fiddler. Does it say a year? So Greg had just joined them at that point, and this was, so I saw them then, and then I saw them at the same venue about a year or so later when the EP they did with Mike Patton came out. Iron Maiden, 2003, Dance of Death tour. You're just about to see that. Right, Iron Maiden have just announced new dates, and I know that the tickets are between £80 and £109. £27.50. Look at that. What else we got? Massive Attack, Brixton Academy, 2004. We'll try and go a bit back. Right, I've got a down ticket here at Brixton Academy, 2008, but I saw them a couple of years before the Astoria. Let's see if we can find that one. Danzig at the Astoria. When was this? 2002, November 2002. And the ticket was £12.50. This makes you feel sick, doesn't it? How much tickets used to cost. You wouldn't have even thought about whether or not you were going. You didn't have to worry. Right, again, I've got the ticket somewhere, but I kept the thing Stamping Ground. Again, at the Astoria, supported by God Forbid and Decimate. You can see that. This was the return of British Steel. And yeah, I saw them at the Underworld. Break the Silence. Now, for any of you that know Rise Against, the guitarist in Rise Against, he did the first 2 albums and left. This was his new band at the time. Break the Silence. That was a really good show. What have we got here? Give It a Name at London Alexandra Palace. I think that was Alexis on Fire, Finch, Fight Star, Rise Against. Can't remember a lot about that day, to be honest. Let's go through it. Oh, look at that. My first, is this 2005 download? everyone bitches about who's headlining. Well, this is 2005, and Feeder headlined it. So, but I didn't go watch Feeder. I went to the Napster stage and watched Napalm Death. It's not very clear, is it? Yeah, good times. Fucking hell, 2000. I wonder if it says on here how much this was. I'll see if I can find it. Mr. Bungle. Now this is the London Astoria 2, but it actually got upgraded to the Astoria, and this was in 2000, September 2000. That's actually one of the best gigs I've ever been to. 12 quid. Crazy. Deftones at the same venue that I mentioned earlier with Marilyn Manson, Colne and the Lost Weekend. They were supported by Linkin Park and Taproot. I was on the, well, sort of the White Pony tour. This is my old band. My first ever band. New Dawn Fades. What have they got here? AC/DC. Black Ice tour. 65 quid. They were starting to creep up around then. It was 2009. What we got? Soulfly at the Astoria. 2000. They were supported by Glassjaw. How much was that? Yeah, £12. I was at college. You didn't even think about the price. You just went because it didn't matter. Amen. London. The main fit. It was London Astoria 2, and then it became Mean Fiddler. So I remember that gig well. That was an awesome gig, and that was a couple of days after the Soulfly gig that I just mentioned a minute ago. So it was Amen. And they were supported by Raging Speedhorn and Charger. This is Dillinger Escape Plan at the Mean Fiddler, supported by the Icarus line. This is the second time I saw Dillinger Escape Plan. Wasn't that much difference really, but they were promoting then the EP they did with Mike Patton. Mad Capsule Markets is an Academy 2004. £11. Sick of It All at the Underworld in 2004. Right, this was Children of Bodom at the Forum in 2009. And I'll be honest, I was never a fan of Children of Bodom. And Cannibal Corpse were the support band, and I just watched Cannibal Corpse and left. If I knew then what I know now, I probably should have stuck around, but there you go. The Persistence Tour, Kentish Town Forum, Sick of It All headline. I think that was with Agnostic Front, Napalm Death, Sworn Enemy, I think it was. A couple of other bands, I can't remember now, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Sick of It All, Agnostic Front, and Napalm Death. Metallica album launch party at the O2 Arena 2008. Hasn't got a price on this for some reason. I think this was... I managed to blag this off of someone that was part of their fan club. Yeah, 2 of them. I might put them with the CD of that show, actually. They were the best seats you could ever get. Like, literally, the stage was in the middle of the floor, and I was just there. Metallica were there. There was like, yeah, there's no beating this. Let's try and find a few older ones. For my sins, I actually saw Kings of Leon on their when they 2003 Brixton Academy. We've got a couple of old ones here. All right. Reverend Holden Heat at the LA2. Oh, look, it's called Mean Fiddler now, you see. It says formerly LA2. They were opened by Hamel on Trial. Killswitch Engage at the Mean Fiddler. They were supported by Poison the Well that night. Can't remember who the openers were, but yeah, Poison the Well. Offspring, 2001. supported by AFI and A. Oh yeah, look. No, you remember the band that Luke? That's Luke, who I do Metalkast, old band. Ah, here we go. My first ever proper concert. Colne, Wembley Arena. This is the day I left school. No, it can't have been the day I left school. No, it must have been later than. I must have left school later than that. I always remembered. Yeah, 19th of May 2000. I did leave school that year though. And they were supported by POD. Wembley Arena, £16.50. Go to a show now at Wembley Arena. See how much it cost you. Obituary at the Mean Fiddler. I think that might have got cancelled. That's my old address there. Yeah, I don't think that show happened, you know. Maybe I didn't go. Yeah, The Offspring. Showed you that, didn't I? Right, let's have a look. Oh, Cave-In. This is on the Jupiter tour at the Underworld. 2002. Oh, here we go. I think this is the first time I saw Napalm Death at the Mean Fiddler. And that was on the Order of the Leech tour. They were supported by the guy from At the Gates' band at the time. The Grand... I can't remember what they're called. Can't remember. It was the guy from At the Gates' new band at the time. At Depeche Mode at the Exciter tour. Wembley Arena again. And how much was that ticket? £22. It's ridiculous. Fear Factory at the Astoria. Mentioned them the other day in the Fear Factory. 14 quid. Supported by what are they called? God's something. Really they did Street Cleaner. Oh, Justin Broderick. What's his name? What are they called? You know the bands, yeah. Fear Factory supported by them. It come to me in a sec. What are they called? Street Cleaner. I can't remember. They were good though. Incubus must have took a girlfriend to that. Phantomus, remember Mike Patton? Phantomus, it was Mike Patton, Dave Lombardo on drums, Buzz Osborne from the Melvins. Yeah, saw them. Yeah, I remember this one. Less than Jake at the Astoria. I actually just went along because with friends from college, and got home really late and got bollocked by my mum. Converge, 2002 at the Underworld. This was on Jane Doe tour. I remember that much. That was a horrible atmosphere at that show. It was sold out, and it was. I think they must have oversold, but people were getting really aggy with each other. And yeah, Strung Out at the Underworld. I don't even remember watching that. Yeah, I don't even remember some of these. Iron Maiden again. 2006. Where was that? Earl's Court. Killswitch Engage again at the Mean Fiddler. I think that ended up being upgraded to the story. That was the first time I saw Killswitch Engage. Howard Jones had just joined the band at that point, so they were just playing the first album. Life of Agony again at the Astoria when Life of Agony first reformed in 2003, November 2003. And yeah, a year before, Killswitch Engage, which was upgraded to the Astoria, and that was in November 2002. Slayer. It's called the Unholy Alliance Tour, but that was Brixton Academy. I think that was Slayer, Lamb of God. I think In Flames played that night as well. It's all getting a bit blurry now. Marduk, Cradle of Filth. Oh no, that's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Took my son to that. I did see a Cradle of Filth one in here somewhere. Acid Rain, when they first reformed. That's recent. There's still so many in here. It's the Berserker. Remember them? At the Garage, 2006. They were supported by Madman is Absolute, and I think the David Gray from Akakaka drummed for them. Awesome show. Yeah, I mean, do you want me to go completely all through these? Because I've still got loads to go through, so I'll probably leave it at that for now. Otherwise, you know, I'm probably bored you enough as it is. Bloodstock. This is when my band at the time played it. Yeah, this is 2006, I believe. This is when Opeth, Dimmu Borgir and Nightwish headlined it. And this is when At the Gates first reforms. Oh yes, look. Heaven's Gate, that was my band at the time. Is that nice and clear? No. Can't really see it, but yeah. Heaven's Gate, I'm now on the lava stage. Let's try one more time, see if that focuses. But has it got a year on it? No. But that was the one anyway. That was a band I was in at the time as well. Played a festival in Morocco. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think this must have been the first time I saw Dillinger Escape Plan, which I mentioned earlier. I showed you off the poster. May 2002. Oh, this one was cool. June 2002, Hatebreed at the Garage. And they were supported by Stamping Ground and Knuckle Dust. How that venue is still standing after this gig, I'll never know. That was awesome show. And yeah, I never really saw the point of seeing Hatebreed after that. When you see them at a place that small. Blast Beats and Beatdowns, Charity All Day, featuring Drowning and Archangel. Oh, Johnny Morrow, All Dayer. Johnny Morrow from Iron Monkey at the Underworld 2002. Orange Goblin headlined it. And yeah, I mean, I could be here all day, so I'm not going to drag it out too much. Suffocation bunch of times. Yeah. All right, hopefully that triggered some memories for you, or gives you a bit of something, kicks off a discussion of some sort. Yeah, what's the oldest ticket you've got? What was the oldest ticket you've got, and what was the price of it? I think that's a good question to ask and leave in the comments. And yeah, enjoy your Sunday. Hope you have a nice roast. Hope you have a nice beer somewhere down a pub or something like that. The weather's starting to creep in. Autumn's creaking in there, isn't it? So yeah, the weather's starting to turn. It's not very nice, but Christmas is ahead and all that good stuff. So yeah, hopefully that entertained you and it weren't too much of a letdown. So Metalkast SLV, that's for you, mate. And I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching. Cheers.